What's good, people? It's your boy J Specs here, back alive. I don't know what's happening. I'm alive again. I'm here. And as you can see, UBC fans, we are here for the Week 1 Power Rankings. Now, I know this video is a little late, but I was lost for about a week, and my co-analyst slash player Bird is actually busy this week, so it was pretty hard. But I'm gonna do my best to get this video out to you guys. Now, as I was saying, this is the power rankings. I just want to leave a little disclaimer. These are no hard feelings to any of the competitors. Remember, I'm just going strictly off of what I see in matches. So nobody should be able to get mad at me, alright? That's all I want. And with that, we're just going to start the power rankings with number 10. Now, at the number 10 slot, I have Tyler. Now, if you guys didn't see the match, please click on to the website and grab that replay. It was a pretty dominating performance, to say the least. Tyler had a matchup against Jack, and Jack pretty much handily controlled the match. The match was in his favor pretty much the whole time. He knew exactly what to do. He had his switch-ins. His mons were doing what they were supposed to do, and in return, he ended up winning the match in a 5-0. So Tyler, pretty much you're at the bottom of this list. You're top 10 mainly because you took the biggest loss this season, and Jack literally had a tight grip on the match the whole time. In my opinion, from me looking out, again, I don't know your thought process. I haven't seen like your side of the battle or your video or anything. I've just seen what was there. Honestly, I don't even know if you record. But yeah, from what I've seen, Jack handily was able to take care of business, and he took care of your squad. So I have you at number 10. Probably did that right there out of order, but who cares? Who cares? Right now, since we just did number 10, I will now go down to number 9. And in the number 9 slot, again, no hard feelings, I have my boy John. Now, John lost in a 4-0 against Tom. Now, honestly, the next 3 slots I kind of had in the tie because they all had the same win-loss ratio, and they all kind of lost in the same way. John started off very good in this match, had control. Pretty much, he was up 6-4 at one point, so it was looking like he can go on to win. And then with the calm and non-panicky play of Tom, he was able to eventually turn the battle over and gain control. And he took control and won in a 4-0. So, I mean, he turned a battle that looked like he was losing in the beginning to a battle in his fashion. Now, the reason why I have John at number 9 is, again, like I said, it was a 4-0. I'm not all that familiar with Tom's battling style as to how good he is yet, but there was a lot of hacks. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of hacks, but his Mian Shao missed some key high jump kicks that ended up taking some of his life, if I am correct. I'm pretty sure he is the one with the Mian Shao. Just make sure I'm looking at the right. Yeah, his Mian Shao lost a few big chunks of his health, even though he was a regenerator, because of missing those high jump kicks. And with that, I mean, it attributed to him losing 4-0. He probably would have lost 3-0 and been higher up in the rankings if his high jump kick would have connected on the Rhyperior. I believe it did have an opportunity to hit Rhyperior in the face at the end, and it missed, and he was able to kill off his Rhyperior. Rhyperior was able to kill off Mian Shao with an Earthquake to seal the deal of 4-0. So, I mean, hey, just no worries. You had your chance. Just come back next time, man. Come back next time stronger. Now, for number 8. Number 8 on the countdown, I have my boy CJ, Choice CJ, and the Baltimore Orioles. Now, with this match, I was watching it, and I was shaking my head in amazement at how far along they got into the match with no deaths. I'm pretty sure it was like 60-70 turns and nothing went down. Then finally the first mon struck, and from there it was downhill. Looking at the match, from the outside in. CJ's wall core was very hard for him to get over. It pretty much took a few high rolls, like some. It took a good roll and some I don't even know how to the word what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm trying to say some unfavorable switch-ins. Like he had to switch Clefable into a situation where I guess was unfavorable because it took a hit, and then that hit pretty much set it up to be taken out with the next hit, even after Protect. And from there, it all just came crumbling down. And then CJ ended up losing in a 4-0. But again, I commend you, bro, because the first 70 turns of that match was amazing. I've never seen a battle that long, well, except for UBC Season 1, where it took forever for anything to die, the championship match. But you did a great job with your switch-ins and everything. It's just, it looks like that roll pretty much turned the tides out of your favor. And once Clefable went down, everything else was already pretty much worn down, so it was just knocking down the bowling pins from there. But yeah, this week I indeed have my boy CJ at number 8, but there is always room to improve. Let's see what you guys got, alright? Guess I don't want to click that. And now, for my number 7. My number 7 in the power rankings, I have my man RG the Awesome. RG, whose team I think so highly of. I still do. I feel as if his team is amazing. He's at number 7. Like I said, at the 9th pick, all three of these guys were all tied. They lost 4-0. He's the number 7 just because I know the magnitude of player he was playing. He was playing Adam. Adam's a very good battler. He was the runner-up in Season 1. He was the co-champion of the Orange League, the first league I was in. So he's a very capable battler. As long as he can build, as long as he gets a team that he's gonna know how to use, he's gonna give you some issues. And the reason why RG is here, because just like the others, RG was in control for the first majority of the match, honestly. The thing that pretty much turned the tide for him was the fact that he didn't have Sucker Punch on his Moxie Honchkrow. If he had the Sucker Punch, Honchkrow could have just sat there, spammed Sucker Punch, and pretty much won the game, barring Adam being able to avoid the Sucker Punch. But Sucker Punch would have took out the Reuniclus, wouldn't have allowed him to be taken out, and he ends up losing in a 4-0. He had a lot of control this match. A lot of control. And, I mean, hopefully he takes this loss and he learns from what he could have did to make it a win next time. I still have high hopes for RG. He's still in my playoff spots. I still think he's a lock for playoffs. And with that, people, we move to my number 6 slot. Number 6, we have the final loser of the week, and that just sounded so horrible. But I don't mean it in a horrible way at all. We have Evil Orso in the Windsor V-Files. Now, Evil Orso had a match against the Bird, the Season 1 champion. And quite frankly, the match was completely in Orso's favor. Completely. Orso was doing a great job against Bird. He lost the match when he clicked Sleep Talk a 3rd time with his Suicune. If he wouldn't have clicked Sleep Talk, because, after 2 turns it wakes up, I guess he wasn't aware of that, he would have won. He had a +2 Suicune. All he had to do was click Scald. The Charizard would have been handled. Most of his team would have been handled. And it's funny because he actually had a second chance to do it, and he clicked Sleep Talk again. So, those were 2 turns where that, and then the second time Suicune went down, and Bird was able to clean up what was left and pick up a 2-0 victory. But minus that, Orso gave Bird a very good match. He was controlling the battle for the most part. It's just that little slip up with Suicune. And I see in the chat he got a little frustrated, guys. When we're watching matches, let's please try not to give our input, especially if it's, I wouldn't say aggressive, but I, for one, I don't like when I mess up and people point it out. Like, I understand I messed up. You don't have to point out that they messed up in the match. Their heart's already pumping because it's a match that means something. It's a league match, so they're already nervous. I mean, let's try not to, you know, beat a dead horse here. But yeah, Orso, man, honestly, you were surprised at how high I rated you in the post-draft rankings. And honestly, you show glimpses of exactly why I rated you so high. Your team is amazing, and if it wasn't for that slip up, you would have had a win on the Season 1 champion. So keep it up, bro. I'm proud of you, and continue to prove me right. Alright? Now with that we have... Come on! 6 didn't want to leave. I was running through the 6 with my woes. We have number 5. And surprise, surprise, at number 5, we have Season 1 champion, the Verd, and the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. Now, I was just talking about the match, because he was playing against Orso. And with that, technically, it's kind of easy to put Verd here, just because Orso was handling the match, and Verd had the lowest win differential. So, I mean, I'm going to take that into account as well, because I don't want anybody, how does he rank 1 when I have a 5-0 and he went 1-0? It's not like that, people, and don't think I'm just taking numbers over battle at all. But it's just, Verd was the most vulnerable to lose, in my opinion. He pretty much lost if it wasn't for those 2 sleep talks. Then again, hindsight is 2020. Maybe Verd had something in the back of his mind. I mean, like, he had some tricks up his sleeve, like he always does. But from the outside looking in, plus 2 Suicune, all you have to do is click Scald at that point, and you do damage. And he let himself sleep. So, I mean... Or actually, I'd have to look back at the match. Maybe he was supposed to click rest there, or maybe he was supposed to click Scald. I can't remember. But all I know is both his sleep turns were burned. And he clicked sleep talk for a 3rd time. And that allowed Charizard X to take him out, which was a very big thing. But, I mean, Verd is 1-0. I'm not by any means doubting him or his skills. I know what he brings to the table. And I'm very excited to see what happens going forward for the Dugo. Alright. And 5, get on out of here. With that, we're going to go to my number 4. And with my number 4, we go to... Oh my goodness. It was... I'm sorry, Tom. I wanted to see the name of this team. And he is the Arizona Rattatas. Yeah, the Arizona Rattatas. And the reason why I have him here, he's the one that beat John. But again, a lot of John's high jump, John missed some crucial high jump kicks. If it wasn't for those, he'd be 3-0 rather than 4-0. Or maybe, who knows, maybe he would have actually... No, because one of those were protected on, which made me and Shell miss automatically. But he didn't... I mean, he won handily, obviously, but I feel he wouldn't have won as handily if high jump kick wouldn't have missed. So, Arizona Rattatas, thanks. What am I saying thanks for? Oh my goodness, Skype's throwing me off. I'm sorry about that, people. But good job this week. You guys get a very handy win. A 4-0 looks beautiful on that win-loss column. And I'm amped to see what you guys can do coming forward. Alright, and let me see. With that, I want to go to our number 3 spot. Now, at number 3, we have the Kansas City Kakunas and the Bee's Knees, the runner-up from last season. Now, with this, just like I was saying, RG pretty much was handling Adam pretty well, making some very good plays, and getting kills on things with movesets nobody really was expecting. He made a lot of good moves this match. And, of course, Adam, being a good battler, was able to win it back in the end. But if Haunch Crow had Sucker Punch, it wouldn't have been that easy for Adam to bring this one back. I feel as if Sucker Punch was on his Haunch Crow, plus it was Moxie, that would have been game. Like, he would have been able to clean up by the time Haunch Crow went down. If it was life or boxing, by the time Haunch Crow went down, Adam's team would have been ripped to shreds, and then he would have just been able to clean up whatever he had left. So, I mean, but it's Adam. So we shall see what Adam can do in the coming weeks, alright? Now that leaves us to 2. Now, at number 2, let me see. Wow. I have my man Kahona in the Violet City Moltres. Let me make sure. Yeah, that was the match. Kahona faced CJ, and he was able to to wait out, basically wait out. He was able to withstand the ridiculous stall fest, and he came out on top. I mean, once the stall fest was over, he was able to just hit things hard. He just showed that late game he doesn't crumble. He was able to get in there, make the necessary plays, and get a commanding 4-0 win. And his win, in my opinion, was way more convincing than, I wouldn't say more convincing, because I don't want to disrespect Adam or anything like that, or anyone before him. It's not like that. But Kahona, I mean, in a stall match like that, you get around 100 turns or whatever, I would have been like, yeah, I'm out of here. And he waited it out and did some great work and pulled himself a commanding 4-0 victory. Bravo to you, Kahona. That match surprised me. I watched it again recently before I wanted to do this video, just to get me a few more looks in on it. And I mean, you pretty much stole the show. Good job. And with that, people, we have our final. We have number 1, Jack Miendosh in the Maryland Man Shouts. My boy Jack. Jack, shout out to you, bro. You had full control over that match. I actually watched your video with your commentary and everything on that match, and I was impressed. You were not faltered. Like, there was no point in which you were like, oh no, what am I gonna do? You had complete control, complete command, and you exhibited your skills wisely. Yeah, I know, I just slurred right there because I had a word and I lost it. But you pretty much showed us that you are the one to beat right now. I mean, that you were calm, cool, and collected, and you just went out there and handled business. And you grabbed the best win differential for week 1. So with that, a 5-0 victory, basically almost a perfect game, I give my boy Jack the number 1 slot in this week's Power Rankings. And with that, people, it's your boy J Specs, man. If you enjoy, please leave a like. Please don't forget to subscribe to all of the coaches here that actually have channels, and subscribe to the UBC channel for more updates, as well as stuff like this, Power Rankings, recaps, all this fun stuff that we're doing. If there's, with no other ado, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here though, because that's enough for me. I gotta start looking into week 2 stuff. But alright, people, your boy is